forged lady Bambiri for her to get a Porsche. As you. Now my issue is why forge documents for you to get a Porsche Cayenne? It's
You
bad.
guys are draining me. I'm thinking, I'm listening to you. Firstly, I felt you guys were jealous. Now you're scaring me. Hi and welcome to Creative Talk, where we discuss everything culture and creative. And I'm not chilling alone. I'm with beautiful ladies. Sanbonani, Dumelani. You know, it's so funny that I'm chilling with you guys, ne?
Yeah.
You are friends, you are leaders. People call you leadership out there.
Yes.
Do you
And
know how much I hate being called leadership? Yeah, don't call me leadership, please.
no, but she's
No, it's true. Yeah.
sorry, no offense to anybody
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
you know, but those kind of things seem to make people a little bit big-headed. When people start calling you leadership and whatever, I always feel like it might change,
Exactly.
you know, how you behave. It depends on how you control it, but I've seen it change people.
Yeah.
You know, where you give somebody some little bit of respect and you say leadership to them and they end up thinking, yo,
Leadership
they're
of
more
mankind.
superior than all of
Yeah,
us.
exactly. Power.
That's true. That's true. That is
But wouldn't you say it's what's making people always chase power?
No, of course.
Yes, it
of
makes
course.
people
Yeah.
go power hungry. Okay, they're calling me leadership, then I must be leadership.
I must
And then
be
they start
leadership.
fighting for positions. Like, and then they go. No, I don't want to be fight. That's why I don't want to be called leadership, because I don't want to fight for position. If position comes, it comes.
Okay, let me then do the introduction nicely again.
Yes.
This is Leader Kuku.
Yeah, but
Oh, so I thought I removed sheep. So it's Leader Kuku, Leader Tuxi, and Leader Evh'a. Yeah? And together they are called Leadership. Yeah.
let's go, leaders. Oh my God, no.
What have you guys been up to?
Yo, there's been a lot. Hey, like it's a vacationing, Freestata, Limpopo, Kimo Gauteng.
Yeah.
But I get check more industry, man. There's quite a lot that has been happening. So
lot.
very much interesting. And I think that's the reason why I'm here.
You know,
Yeah.
you just mentioned vacationing. Do we still see the difference though? Because I just feel like it's just one South Africa. Maybe when you go to Cape Town, you know, Cape Town is like another country. But do you still see any difference, you know? I mean, you can literally walk within an hour from Alex to Sandton. How do you then say, vacationing, mo ke ko kae? How do you define that?
I think because I'm from Soweto, so you can define, because Soweto is way out there and it's huge. So you can define, okay, this is Soweto, you can see. But with Alex and Sandton, people from Alex, they think they're from Sandton. You know?
No, from Sandton,
No,
what
they're
you mean?
not.
But you can just walk. You just walk across
you
the
can
street.
just walk.
It's like Midrand. I mean, guys, it's like Midrand.
And Tembisa.
Not even Tembisa such. I mean, Ebony, Ivory,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's not the same. You know, how they do things is not the same, even though it's the township and then the suburb area. There's a lot happening in our industry.
But let me tell you something. The people who grew up in the burbs, they don't know the difference.
Yes.
Oh no, they do.
They
know
do.
the difference. Yes.
Yeah.
So Rona, Batlanko Bosuwe to vacationing, you know, because of how things are now, I don't see the difference anyway. Because you know why? Gugu Bosuwe, but she speaks better English, the same as a person who stays in Sandton. So it's not about the environment as such. You know what I mean? And now she was Suwe to and I need more. So who are you to say so it is different?
So how no vacationing, no choring?
No, look, guy.
Tabanchu.
Oh, okay.
Different from Soweto. Internal major ale aso amakaka.
So when I got to go to Makai. Tabanchu
How
Samakai.
ya kumthatha loko Tabanchu kumurolo.
It's not the same.
difference.
Okay.
Umtata is a suburb, honey. It's a suburb. You know, we've got money, we've got
I think it's a
everything.
suburb, honey.
We
I don't
can
know
make it
Mthatha,
happen.
right?
Mtata is like the little Joburg. That's what we call Mtata.
Is it?
It's a little Joburg, honey. We have everything there.
Maybe I was at the wrong
Educated people.
side.
Sinabantu ababa imoto vele nje kukhona yonke into.
So that means
So,
Soweto is
there's
everything.
no-
Because in Soweto we have everything. Cars, they even steal helicopters. I'm joking. They don't steal helicopters. Jokes. But Soweto is just, it's huge.
Yeah.
And we have suburbs in Soweto. We have mini rural areas in Soweto. We have Kuku informal settlement, and then we have education.
So like everything.
Yeah, so Soweto is
So guys, let's get back because
Yeah.
I can see I deviated and I took you to the suburbs and Makesheni and Emakaya.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be discussing issues of culture and creative
And
industries.
there's a lot happening in the industry.
What's
There's
happening? Tell
so
us.
much.
Tuli Pongol, right? She went from acting to DJ to Slay Queen. Then she's back to acting. Now, the question is, each generations, are they really trying to promote generations with Tuli Pongolo because she's an influencer and she's a Slay Queen? Or they just wanted to have Nakla?
Wait. Firstly, let's remove the slay queen part.
Okay.
Because I don't even know what the slay queen is.
Okay.
But I know Tuli to be a talented
Yes.
actress.
Yeah.
And there's nothing shocking about her going back to what made her.
Okay.
When I first met Tuli, she was an actress.
Okay.
And I know her to be an actress. What's new there?
But I think now
Because the slay queen thing, I don't even know what's a slay queen. How do you even determine if somebody's a slay queen or not?
Well, she portrayed that when she dated Uma Duman, you know, she actually portrayed the influencer part of it because of the way she was, you know.
So then how do you call
getting
such a
all that
person a slay
money
queen?
From him traveling all over the world.
How do you then call a person like that a slay queen?
It's the way she portrayed herself.
And the BBL.
but okay, fine.
The
how-
BBL,
how-
the
how does-
BBL.
how does-
Yeah.
Oh, the BBL.
The BBL is giving Slay Queen.
But there are some other people who don't
Guys,
relate to
fundisani
BBL,
mina,
but
what's a BBL?
How
Yes.
many?
It's removing fat from somewhere and putting it in your bums.
Actually, you
Somewhere.
actually remove it from here.
You remove from your
If you
back?
have a big tummy and then the
We
back, and then
must
you
ask
remove it
Kanye
and
back.
then put it on your bum.
What? BBL?
And then your bums become.
No, but the last time we heard about it, was not a phone, BlackBerry, something. Hey, BBL.
No!
So explain it.
Blackberry was BBM.
Oh, BBL.
Yes. Then BBL, it's just people having big. You see, the first person who had a BBL that I know was Little Kim.
Now coming back to Generations. When was the last time I watched Generations, honestly speaking?
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, the numbers have went down. And so they had to find someone to popularize in Generations.
Yes.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but-
I watched it last
Yeah,
week.
but
I did watch
You
it
guys
last
are,
week.
and I'll keep on saying maybe you guys are confused as
Kanjani?
the public. You say she was with Generations, right?
Yes. And then she went to
She
DJing.
left, ne?
Yes.
And then she's coming back.
Yeah.
You are saying they are bringing her back because the numbers have dropped.
And her face.
So
because
what's wrong with
she's
that?
a brand.
But then, yes, but
She's a
meaning
brand.
when she was there, Generations was popular. So what's wrong with that?
She left, but now Generations was no longer popular. People don't
So,
watch
but she's going back. So
Generations.
what's wrong with that?
Yes,
What's
she's
wrong with
bringing-
reinventing a
right,
brand?
she's
She's bringing
wrong with that.
numbers. Now
So
that,
what's wrong with that?
Now that
Yes, yes,
Tuli
wrong with
Pongolo is back,
And also,
People are gonna
Johannesburg
watch.
is very expensive, huh? The living lifestyle is very expensive.
Okay, there's wrong and right in that.
Yeah,
Okay? I don't mind people being repeated on whatever generation, radio station or whatever, but look, there's a lot of talent out there, guys. You can still bring Tuli, but also bring Evh'a. You understand what I'm saying?
Hence, I said
So
this.
because I
This
feel like
might
our industry
be
is very
a
stagnated.
jealousy thing. You
No,
guys
it's not
want to
jealousy.
be where
I'm
she
giving
is.
you the fact.
No.
The reason why our industry is not growing because we are not focusing on developing a new talent.
exactly.
To be honest with you.
No, but
Thanks,
wait,
ma'am.
guys.
Yeah.
Nyanizwa nithini? But the issue here is, if things go down, people say, "Yo, you remember during the days of Tuli, it used to be there." So, a smart business person is supposed to call her back.
But in terms of development and empowerment, why not get someone who looks similar to her and give that person a
Exactly.
job?
Now you are saying they must create a fake Tuli.
I watched the episode last week when she was talking to Lucy, who's supposedly her mother in Generations. They're not
Damn.
connecting.
I
The
disagree.
mother feels like,
So
oh,
you feel-
you've
so you
grown.
feel like there's no
you
screen
look so
connecting.
different from where you were before.
Because you are looking at it with a jealous eye.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
You know,
Damn it. What the
for
damn
me,
it, my nigga? What the
honestly
damn
speaking, I'm for celebrities. I'm a groupie. Yes, there are celebrities that do mess up. You know, we see people saying bad things about others and stuff. you know.
Yeah.
But I see nothing wrong with the celebrity living their celebrity lifestyle forever and ever till death do them part.
Yes.
But
that's
You know.
still,
fine.
I feel
But
the
there are
industry.
those that are disrespectful.
Yeah, well, we agree. But the industry has the responsibility of developing new talent.
Yes.
Guys, no, it's kind of one side
Why
face
going
one
back?
because you know what? Yes, generation might be correct by bringing her back. You know, the number it increase, but sometimes they can be wrong because I can assure you. How Shebeli said FM.
Can we agree to disagree?
What's
happening?
I want to make an
at
example.
CDFM?
You remember there was a time when they wanted Twasa to go away because
Yeah.
they just felt horrible. You've been there forever.
Which is
Give
how
other
you
people
feel
a chance.
now.
And then Batukara came after Twasa.
Fresh
What did
talent.
he do?
Yeah.
He increased the number, like triple the numbers.
So what's your
I'm
point?
simply saying, Guti, the industry, yes, you can bring Abu Arthur back. They've been there forever. But also give Gugu a chance. You'll never know Gugu what
Yeah,
she'll
but
do.
The thing is, it's a pity. I don't know. I haven't watched what you saw, but
Yeah.
how sure are you that they're not bringing in new talent? Because if you look at the industry now, there's so many celebrities. Who makes those celebrities? I'm sure it's platforms like those.
Yeah, no, we are not disagreeing, but you must also check when they bring the new talent, it gets exploited a number of times.
What do you mean by that?
Babamba, Roba, Lala, Lili, director, the producer, for them to be given a job.
my God.
And others are not given
Of
enough
course.
payment, you know, which is not
Yeah.
fair. There's quite a lot. That's why I'm saying, one of this show, it's nice that I'm here, we are back, so we can also unpack those kind of things.
They are.
But let's talk about
They
interesting
are.
stuff. Anele, Olobonitse, Kadi 20.
At least that's great news, right?
Exactly.
Because you guys are draining me. I'm thinking, I'm listening to you. Firstly, I felt you guys were jealous. Now you are scaring me because of the things you are saying.
Congratulations to Anilam daughter
Yeah, of course.
What
on
happened
her
with her?
final
Of course,
lobola
of course.
negotiations.
Okay.
Yes, she was being lobolad. We thought she's getting married. We thought. And then she went on radio like, no,
But
no,
what's the difference between Lobola and
no.
marriage?
She's the one who said, no,
I
it's
don't
not
know the
marriage. It's
difference.
Yeah,
a
but I'm
final-
trying to find out what's the
Yes,
difference.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
because
the
according
I need
to
to
you,
eat you
what
thought.
Anela said her husband has been coming, you know, before. This was the last part of the lobola.
But it's asking
But
what's
you
the
guys are
difference
not
between-
answering my question.
What's the difference? Okay, now according to my knowledge, traditionally, if you have been lobolat, traditionally,
Customary marriage.
Yeah, customary marriage. It's
Yeah.
a marriage already. But then
Yes,
according
it is.
to the modern whatever, you need to go and sign.
Yes.
For you to say, yeah, now
Well,
we're
she
married.
hasn't mentioned
Let me
anything
ask you a
if
question.
she signed or not. She
Can
hasn't
you
mentioned
go
that.
do Lobola
Yeah.
and just walk out anytime you want to walk out?
Well, I guess so.
No.
So Lobola in a way
But
is maybe.
Kuna did.
Yeah.
But Kuna
Remember-
did.
No.
Didn't he?
What?
Who?
Kuna.
Minnie denied that
Oh.
lobola thing. She said she was not lobola at Kadi Million. But what I'm saying is when you guys go pay lobola, there's documents. Khona le letter.
Yeah.
Sanibonani siyeza kwasibiya
Yes.
sizolobola yada yada, and then there's also they're writing down, they're signing there's malume this signing, there's this money, so it's actually a contract and it's a marriage.
Yes, it is the
It's a
marriage.
contract. So
Okay.
whether it's customary or it's by
not.
law, but you
Yeah.
can sue someone and say no, uyangilahla, uyangishitela.
Mara bara monna
No,
tadi-
maphepha.
bara
So
monna
would
tadi
we
kadi-
agree that Lobola and marriage is
It
more or
is.
less-
It's more
Yes,
something, yeah.
it is
Yes.
because there's a contract.
So Anela said there's no other wedding you're going to see.
Uh-oh.
This is the lobola and that's the end of it. I'm married.
Imankal,
No, but congratulations to them.
congratulations.
At least for a change, you guys said something positive. Siyabonga.
Can I say
Her
something?
husband.
Hey, the husband is
The
giving
thing is,
Rainbow
man,
Nation.
I'm
That
sitting here,
guy's
I'm
giving
listening to.
Rainbow.
Kahle nina niyakosipa, guys. Niyakosipa.
That guy is giving Rainbow Nation. There's a picture of the husband.
Umlungan.
No. He's a Xhosa man.
Thank
Khona la aphethe amablom and he's like, I'm like, what the hell? Are you gay, my nigga? Or former gay? He's pouting. Imagine.
I mean, to man, if they were joking and the camera press. Yes, I'm a cameraman.
Shit, no.
The guy is very soft, you know.
Where's
He's
the
one of
picture?
those
Let me show
guys-
him the picture.
So
Maybe it's
easy.
one
Guys,
Guys will be
wait,
like,
wait.
Amazing.
Oh.
Babe.
Couldn't you just
okay.
congratulate people?
Congratulations.
without kissing them?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anele,
Yeah,
the
but
husband.
it's giving,
that
it's giving
was
something
So
else.
happy for
yeah.
her.
It's
Let's
giving
move on.
something else.
So
I can see you are running out of things to say to me.
So did you hear that Tyler, she's being accused of stealing Britney Spears' image?
What?
So Tyler was literally performing on Coachella. Congratulations to Tyler performing at Coachella.
And I heard she performed the new song as well.
She did.
Number one.
Oh my
I
gosh, she
don't
was
listen to her,
so
but
beautiful. Her outfit was dope, but Americans being Americans, oh, my mene mene. Utsitse image, yeah, the outfit, yeah, Britney Spears. And Tyler was like, I love Britney Spears. I love Britney Spears. She's dope, but my outfit was not inspired by Tyler. And then they went, hey, what about Tyler?
Wait. You say she said the outfit was not inspired by Tyler. Who said that?
Tyler said the outfit was not inspired by Britney Spears.
Oh, you wanted to say
but she
that.
loved.
Britney.
But she loves. No, Britney didn't say anything.
Or she didn't say
It's
anything.
Americans.
It's exactly what I said.
People.
Nina, you guys just want to hit
you
people.
said it wrong.
But listen, Americans, I'm gonna speak no accent. Listen, our girl has nothing to do with Britney Spears. Actually, she improved the Britney Spears look. You know what I mean? I mean, Britney Hannah take So please.
But anyway, also congratulations to Tyler. She was nominated for the American Music Awards.
Yes.
She's nominated against Summer Walker. She's nominated against Money Long, and the likes of them. So do you think Tyler? She's nominated twice for Afrobeats, and she's nominated for R&B.
That's beautiful.
But now, is Tyler bringing the awards home? Both 2 awards.
Nominated for what?
She's nominated for Best Afrobeats and R&B.
But you know what I like about her? When she gets there and they nominate her for Afrobeat, she says,
I'm a piano.
my music is I'm a piano. Like, she doesn't care.
Saying that, just like her saying she's colored.
But
They
she is
tried
colored.
to diminish her and said she cannot say Mapiano. It has to be Afrobeats.
No,
because
but
it's
she's
African.
still sticking to I'm a piano. She's still
Yes,
sticking
but she
to her
doesn't
image.
mention the color thing anymore. Whenever she's doing interviews,
Is it?
whenever they ask her, "Are you saying you colored?" She's like, she doesn't really give them the right
Yeah, no,
answer
I think I've
because
heard
the
it a number of
Americans have a
times, yeah.
problem with it.
Okay,
I think I've
Americans
heard it a number
can
of times.
go flash themselves, but now is Tyler bringing back those 2 awards?
But what about the producer who's not being paid
Oh
royalties?
my God, for water.
For water. And I don't know if that's okay. Maybe you can, maybe
Is
you can
that
educate us.
is that serious? Because somebody was talking about that, but I'm not too sure if
Yeah,
it's a
well, it's
serious
on the
case or
news
what.
now.
It is.
And
Is
I'm
it
not
in
too sure
court?
how.
It is.
Remember, guys, whenever you hear about these things, I mean, I always want to find out the legality of these things. Otherwise, we'll end up just talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
is it in court? Was she formally approached?
I think she was. Now, according to what I read, she was approached with her team as well. But now I'm not too sure whether they've already filed a case against them or not.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's a story that's still unfolding.
But it's not
Yeah,
her
but-
direct.
yeah.
It doesn't come to her. I think just the guy was just trying to bring up Tyler's name because she's Tyler and it's going to make headlines. Because if I say Tyler.
Some artists are very stupid. They come to you and sign. They don't know how much the song can become so big in the industry. They're like, okay, you're giving me 3,000. 3,000 is fine.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you go to Samro or Simpra, you actually register the realities, but you've already given that person. So they are not part of it. And then once they realize now, oh my God, this song is so big. I want to be part of it.
Speaking
I
about
want- in fact, I
sound.
was part of it. So I want my money.
Yeah.
Even though they signed a contract that says, ngikunikeza 3,000, kuphelile apho.
Speaking about Samro,
So
guys,
abanye abantu banjalo.
what's happening
You know.
at Samro?
So before you go to somebody,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask something. Where is Tyler based now? Is she in the
America.
US or is she traveling in between or is she based in South Africa?
I'd
she's
say
based
US.
in the US.
I'll
She's
say
based in the
US.
So she's
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to conquer that market now.
Yes.
And she is conquering
That's
it
why she
very
did a
well.
song with Ubalo Mkhulu. I felt like she did a song with Umkhulu wakhe.
Didn't she also do with Ciara as well?
No, not Ciara.
Not Ciara.
Ubalo, Sean Paul. Sean Paul.
Oh yes,
Umkhulu.
yes, yes. yes.
Push him with
Umkhulu,
the- with no
not
hesitation.
Reggaeton. That's how I
With
felt.
giving
Like,
attention.
But I thought
No,
because
but it's nice.
Yeah, but sometimes
Sean Paul
remember
is a
when you're trying to
legend.
conquer the
He's too
world,
old for him.
it depends on what the song is about. What if
Yeah.
the song
No,
talks
I
about
feel
the
like
dead and the
remix-
child?
Look, I feel like Sean Paul fits in that song.
I don't.
He was the right choice.
so old.
He was the right.
She's
No,
young.
it's not about being old. We have many old
Talented
legends. Yes, but I feel like Sean Paul fits in that category. Others, about Chris
Remember,
Brown,
the musician is speaking now. no?
So let me ask
Remember,
the
this is
musicians.
a talented
Let's
musician.
see,
Maybe
Let me ask the musicians. There's a story right now about Samro. Yes, of course, they are selling their offices or their house for 100 million. I'm not too sure where that money is going to go. But then there's also an issue of the artist already told you royalties. So educate us. Because when I was trying to do a research, I was asking myself, why every year is artists coming on board and complaining about not getting royalties? How does this thing work?
Also,
If I submit my music to radio stations, is there a system that I can actually track or so that I can go and claim my royalties?
it has always been difficult, and I think with the advent of AI, I think it will improve matters because it's difficult to calculate such royalties. And I always say to people that I've performed at some point for 15 years non-stop, but I don't remember getting paid for the venues that I've went to. And should anything happen to me, how does my family claim? And sometimes they say if you didn't claim for a certain period, you end up losing out. But the fact of the matter, you deserved that money. So sometimes it becomes difficult. And with AI being around, one can only hope for an improvement. And with the issue of the building, it becomes difficult because every business has to find ways of sustaining. You know, has to find ways of sustaining.
But
the only you can.
But they said there's a misuse of royalties, unclaimed royalties, and they claim that the bosses are bonusing themselves with those royalties. They go on vacations with those royalties. So how do we defend that misuse of royalties?
Let me ask you a simple question: are we, as musicians, willing to learn and take over from the people that we accuse? Because if you are to get, I've been there. Remember, I've been a Sambro board member. And I've seen people in meetings criticizing us as artists that want to be in that board, saying it's a must to have a legal person on that board. Somebody that knows accounting on that board, and those people must not be from the industry. So sometimes you guys confuse the system. You artists are the one who came with those
Suggestions.
But
those suggestions.
How do you
Interesting.
track that your music is being played on radios? Let's say it's been played once on Umhlobo and once on
Not
Metro
even
FM.
radio.
No,
Not
they
radio.
do have
Track
cue
that.
sheets.
Elevators.
I'm just not too sure how accurate they are,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
they are cue sheets.
But music
Okay.
is played in elevators, it's played in clubs. We have so many DJs that are DJing and playing people's music. How do they get their royalties from that? I think we need to get more education on that.
Yes.
Okay.
And a lot of artists need to also know about that. Okay, how do I get my royalties from a DJ?
Mina, I feel like artists, yes, of course, they need to educate themselves, but also Samro has got the responsibility of educating artists. Because I feel already this thing, system, AI can to so what about the years in the past? You know?
Yeah, I
So-
always say people like us suffered.
Exactly. So the same story about Samik. Samik, what is Samik, by the way? Educate me, musicians.
Samik
Before I
is,
talk about the
is
story.
the South African Music Industry Council.
What does
Yes.
it do in the industry?
It's supposed to be helping with the regulation.
Okay.
You see the issues that we have here.
Yeah.
Samik is supposed to be helping with the regulation of the industry.
Yeah.
But the question is
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 it
Samik
really?
doing that?
That's the funny part, because I mean, I serve in the industry. Yes, I'm not a hardcore musician, but I've never seen even a single workshop here, Samik.
No.
To be honest with you, to
I've
educate those
I've been a board
artists.
member of Samik.
Yeah.
Lucky for me. I've been
been a board
around,
member.
and I always say to people, the reason I end up living these things is when I see that they're not going the direction I expect them to go, or when you are being pushed out because you raise issues.
So since you've mentioned,
Once you raise issues, you become unpopular.
okay,
Okay.
Guys, this system is still going to go on and on and on and on.
That's a problem.
The sad thing about this system is those that are popular at a particular time don't focus on helping improve the industry in that sense.
True that.
We push our own direction, you do your own
Yeah.
things, you do whatever.
Exactly.
So it's gonna take years.
Now that you've mentioned that you were part of the board, so apparently, Samik, it got some funding from DTI.
Millions. Not even
Millions.
funding.
Okay, I read
millions.
about
I don't think
500,000.
it's.
I read about 500,000.
I don't think it's
you know?
millions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that 500,000.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Now
That
the
I
question-
know about.
They said millions.
I don't know about millions.
So I want to make it very interesting.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you
You
guys...
want to make it interesting,
Yeah,
so it's not interesting. You just want to make it interesting. Because remember, we need to be careful. If you want to make it
Okay, I
interesting,
wanna make
it might
interesting,
not be a
but
fact.
Let me just share what I've read. So Barasamiki, it's a registered company or non-registered company. I'm not too sure what's happening, but
they're registered.
Ukusalayo, it got 500,000 from DTI. So now my question is to the artists out there who are members of Samik, did you know Hore Samiki tola funding from the DTI? And what was that money for? And now DTI says we're no longer going to give money to Samik because it failed to account for the 500,000 that was given to them. And now, newspaper, but Samiki, it's not a registered company.
Yes.
So how did it get the money from DTI?
It got
Because-
deregistered in 2024.
Exactly. Now we did a research. So Google, it's a research was CIPC,
Yes.
right? And then what did you find?
Okay, can I open that?
And how were those transactions
yeah.
happening?
No, I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Let's allow her because I want to come back to understand Guti government did there's procedures,
Yeah.
there's procurement processes. For you to be able as a government to deposit the money into someone's account, you have to be compliant.
Yes.
No,
So-
but there's
yeah.
a difference between
What?
something that gets procured in that sense and
Okay.
something that's been given as a grant. There's
So-
a difference
so was
between
it
a
given as a
grant and a
grant?
tender, so you must never confuse the two.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know.
I'll come back to that. So what did you find?
Okay, so in 2019, Samik was registered,
Okay.
right? And then they kept getting emails.
2019?
Yes, it says 2019
No, man,
06
we
06.
established
When were
Summit
you
in
the board member?
2014.
2014.
Yes.
So
West would be 2013. But Summit has been around.
So it wasn't registered between 2014 and 2019.
yes,
I'm actually
So only
curious.
fully
Yes.
yes,
registered
because I
in
went to Biz
2019.
Portal.
Ruth,
Yes,
how
I
many
went to
board
Biz
members?
Portal, and then it says 2019 06 new company registration. This is Samik.
So Mr. Mafokate, when how no joiner in a registered?
Yeah. Sorry. I
Okay.
was told it was registered and I know it was registered.
This is
but,
the history I got.
But this history, remember, which is always an issue with this country. People always confuse an NPO with an NPC.
Okay.
NPOs are registered at the Department of Social Development.
Yeah.
Yes.
Samik might have been registered at the Department of Social Development.
Development.
And then, years later, maybe it became an NPC.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
But then in 2021.
The same as with SIFSA. SIFSA sometimes
SIFSA.
it speaks as an NPO,
That's
sometimes
touchy.
it speaks as an NPC.
NPC.
So we always need to be careful.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can rush and say, I've been to CIPC, these are the records.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
did you actually follow it to Department of Social
Yeah,
Development?
but who
And one
is
thing I also understand is that your company can be deregistered in CIPC while you still have an active business account. You know that. You're not paying annual returns.
Mina, I
but
can
your
tell
company
you.
has
Yeah.
a business account that's
I mean, I
active.
can tell you, I heard from the horse's mouth.
But yeah,
What see, there is no current bank account.
Yes.
CIP, Samik is not registered.
So Chalte Patisuko guy.
I can say, but they must tell us.
Transactions, where do they happen?
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why when you guys bring topics like this here, you need to really get more facts.
So for us to get more facts, this is my suggestion.
Yeah.
Tebogo Statu came out and
Yeah.
he wrote a very long message to Samik, right? And the SAPO members. So my suggestion, team, how about we invite Tebogo Statu? We can call him maybe next week or whenever.
Hayi swenzani ngoba uTebogo studio gcwele nizofaka uTebogo
No,
la
no, we
studio
can call
gcwele.
him. We can call him.
How guys
Listen, you know
the
what?
house is full now. We are four.
Let
You
me
still
tell
want
you
to bring
something why.
Tebogo?
Let me tell you
No,
why.
we're not going to interview Tebogo and come with that
We
clip.
can call him. You can call him. You know why?
Ah,
That's very
mara
interesting.
sigcwele ne. Cabanga
Our show,
C4.
our show,
Tuksi.
Plus,
Uyahlala
Tebogo,
ngokutebogo. No, but
You know what? There's an interesting
we can
story
invite
here.
them to Mario Shalad.
No, okay,
Unga,
fine. We will
kuzohlala.
call Tebogo. Let's agree that we'll call Tebogo because why?
Why?
The current president of SAMIC, Lena, is denying all these allegations.
Even the previous,
and he
even
doesn't
the
even know
previous,
what happened.
the
much
honorable-
earlier.
So go do a
Do you
clip
understand?
there.
No, but
Yes,
I mean,
let's-
I want
the
to talk about the
situation,
culture and
the
creative
situa-
industry.
the
And I
sit-
feel our audience, they deserve answers.
The
You know what I
situation,
mean?
if
You can't just sugarcoat things here. Exactly, Sifsa, the same story.
But Koshi,
The same story.
What
about Sifsa, by
they
the way?
have to account for money that
Yeah.
was used before they came in.
But are
Before, it's not before they
You know
came
why
in.
these things are always
Sifsa
scary
is
for
not
me, ne?
before they
Yeah,
came in.
yeah.
They are always scary for me because wherever you guys are mentioning, I've been there.
We even got fired from Sifsa, remember?
That's what I'm saying. I've been there.
was the secretary.
You see, so
Yeah.
I've been there. I was either chucked out, I either ran away, or I talked too much. But all these things that you guys are
checked
mentioning,
out.
hence sometimes I'm finding ways of ignoring these things because I also don't want to sound like I'm instigating a topic about these things because I've been there.
Yeah.
Hence I always, you can see.
Sifsa.
What about
Sicela reports.
Report.
Gates reports. Gates wants a financial report.
But he got the
But
report.
when
Sifsa.
we got
No,
as
he
what?
said- he
Are you a
said-
member of Sifsa?
I'm a member of Creative Talk, and
Okay.
we want to know what happened to the money that Sifsa child. And Gaten wants the report. He said he didn't get the report, Gaten. Allegedly. That's what he said.
You see, that's the thing with you guys.
Allegedly.
Everything that you always discuss is allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I wish one day you can say, I'm 100% sure.
Okay, I'm 100% sure about this one.
Okay.
Which one?
The MGE funding.
Ah.
Right?
Hey,
There was
it's like MGE fun. I like that. In fact, we must adopt that thing. Start again so that we rehearse it. Start
so I
again.
am so sure about this one.
Which one?
I'm so certain. MGE fund. So, as you all know, like last year, there was an open call.
Can we do it for the last time? Can we do it for the
Are
last
you
time?
guys ready? So I'm sure about this one. MGE funding.
No, but we can't hear what you're saying. I mean, what's that
I
training?
reckon. So,
Say it again one more
as
time.
we, no, whatever.
Patong. What day? That's like
So last year, there was an open call, right?
Okay.
Yeah, MGE funding. And as usual, and we followed the guidelines. They said, okay, fine, please apply the new minister. And there's 9 million this time around because why? We're sick and tired of artists getting peanuts because then the projects, they don't get to be sustainable.
Yes.
And which was fair enough. And we were all excited. And then all of a sudden, January, no, hurry extending the date. And then the guidelines, they sort of like change a little bit. So I am curious because I am sitting here and I know that happened. But I really want to find the facts from you guys.
You know, I'm one of the people,
Yeah.
that my application was not rejected because of my brilliant
Was not
idea.
rejected.
It was not rejected.
Wow! So you got that funding?
Actually, I was
Hey,
about to
let's do it.
about to get the
Let's-
8 million.
Are you ready to talk about that funding that you got?
Tell us.
I thought
Did
were
you
gonna-
get the approval letter?
I didn't get the funding. I didn't get the approval letter.
So how do you know
but
that
my,
you're not
my
rejected?
project,
Yes.
the people that
mina
I know-
ngithutholile asuka
I'm
usimoshe
sorry to
lesikhathi leso.
mention this. The Sinopati was declined. The other project was declined. I was in progress.
Progress.
Right? For the 9 million
Sugar.
project.
But how do you know?
I know
Wishful
that
thinking.
I was going to get it.
Exactly. How do you know?
How do you know?
How do you
How
know?
do I know? Because everybody was rejected. My application was in progress.
Oh,
right?
I hear. Yeah, but
Yes.
don't act like you got funding.
How-
Sugar,
No,
we are
I
fine
didn't
and
say
that.
No,
I didn't say that.
No, wait.
I was saying a lot
But
of
we are
people
fine
were
and
Do
that.
you know
rejected.
it was in progress? How do you know that it was in progress? Because
It was written.
My
When
s-
you go to the portal, it was
No, but
saying
Eva, what
in
she's saying,
progress, ne?
she's saying
I wasn't
because she was
rejected.
not
I wasn't
rejected.
Declined.
She was
Yes.
not declined. So meaning
I wasn't
it had
declined,
went
I wasn't
past the first
rejected.
stage.
The
you're
first
not
stage.
listening. She
What?
said when you go into the system, it says
When
in
you go to the
progress.
system, will tell you it was in progress.
Yeah, normally
and you
that's
know
what
what
it does.
happened?
What
When
happened?
they changed to 2 million,
Yeah.
because we were supposed to get 9 million, and when
Okay.
they changed to 2 million, then now they said it was cancelled.
Don't say you were supposed
They
to
said it
get
was
because that's a wrong.
cancelled.
statement
No,
you
Supposed
had
to get, I was
applied
saying
to.
It wasn't rejected
Yes.
or declined.
Yes.
All the people that got the message of declined and rejections of the MGE to get the
Siga
9
got
million
that message,
project.
by the way.
I-
Siga was
I-
rejected, so I know.
Mine was
You
not.
were rejected.
Mine was in
I was-
progress. Mine was in progress. And then when they changed and said, let's take down the portal system. Then when you go to the portal system, they said it was cancelled.
But why did they say
Right.
people must go by a fuller line?
It is.
They said
Okay.
it was cancelled. And then they came up with the 2 million to say, now we're giving you 2 million, no longer 9 million.
9 million.
Remember the 9 million, it was a 9-month project.
Yeah.
All right? So when I structured my project, it was a 9-month project. And it was not saying I'm approved, because they were waiting to say, okay, we approved this one. They rejected everyone and declined everyone. And mine was still there. So now when I believe it was those old folks that said, we cannot use a portal. We cannot use a portal. The portal is for these youngsters who knows the AI and all that. And then they said, let's go and submit, and
Are you
deliver.
not one of those people who paid the judges?
No, me
Why can't you
I've
suspect
got
them?
the greatest ideas that you can't say no.
Guys, speaking
Okay.
about
You
legends,
cannot say no
speaking
to my
about
ideas,
legends,
right?
That
But
50K,
now-
Tuxi, that 50K.
Yes, which 50K?
Why are they supposed?
Which
Remember?
50K?
Which 50K?
Wait, remember? McKinsey.
Okay.
He had this thing, this program thing, whatever that he was doing. He said legends should get 50K
Oh, yes.
every month.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Why 50K every month?
But guys,
To
okay.
Sustain what? 50K.
Their lifestyle.
What are they doing to get
They
that
deserve
50K?
it.
They don't. What if maybe let's say you have a program, you're a legend, you're cool or you're a dancer.
Kudala ngicula
Listen,
sana
listen, you can't-
ndibetheka,
No, it's fine.
bengangibhatali.
Listen.
So for me, I feel like that 50K ndiyayideserve, guys. Kudala
that is
ndironke.
No, I get what you're saying, right? But 50K, uhleli nje,
Can I ask you a question?
Let me
Guys,
try and justify it.
Can I? Okay.
Yeah, let me try and
Go first,
justify
then
it.
I'll ask.
Yes.
I agree and I also disagree with that offer.
The 50K.
Yes. I'll make an example. There are some celebrities who've been in the industry for so long and they've been benefiting from these productions, right? But then not even one day they ever thought of giving back.
Thank you.
And then when they struggle, they are quick to run back to
To go
us
on Twitter,
and say donate.
say my bank
now,
account,
there's a difference between that
number.
person and Mafokate. Mafokate, we know how many people he has helped in the industry.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here today because he has given me the
But
opportunity.
what if they are helping-
Wait, let me finish my
We
thought.
just don't know.
Let me finish my thought. So now I'm sitting here because you have given me the opportunity. You are still giving back, right? And your work is evident. So if in case Lefatshe lao Shapa and Mackenzie Watla go for 50,000, I would say yes to that kind of a person.
Only you.
Not the other person.
Even with them,
Now, here's
they
the
might
thing.
have other
Exactly.
people that we
Yeah.
don't know about. Remember, not everybody that helps people go out there and
But
advertise
it's
it.
a
Yeah.
pity. The industry alone, Nane?
It doesn't mean because those that some of us have helped,
Yeah.
They don't go and say.
they'll go and say, the other day you were shocked in the group.
Yeah.
People that you respected too much, all of them coming out. One morning they just decided
Yeah.
to come out and she was shocked. And she was even asking some, how can he also help you? You understand? So
Yes.
I didn't go out there and
But
say,
I totally
they
agree.
said it and they said, let's give you flowers,
Yes.
meanwhile you're still alive.
Exactly.
What if with those other people, no one felt like,
Unfortunately, our industry, if you say, I step into the celebrity field, your life is in public. Why hide? So, they've been in the industry, they've never given back to the industry. That I have a problem with. And now, to justify what you say,
Yeah.
I feel Guti, Ntate McKinsey kana relay, ke lefa di 50,000, but let's open foundations for you. Give
Exactly.
back because you've got
It
so
is
much
there's a
industry.
foundation that's open for them.
Which foundation?
But the
Which one?
foundation, I just forgot the
Not
name.
one
But they have
foundation.
a foundation that
One foundation?
Yabona le mali
One
le-
foundation.
le mali
You know,
is
I know
is
what she's
suka
talking
from a
about.
Which one?
foundation.
the thing is with
It's
these
super
things, ne,
foundation.
I don't know, guys. I hear what you're saying, and if you looked at it, even with the same foundation, there's a scandal.
Yes.
Don't you
yes,
think
that's
that
true.
also we get funded with a trap already there? You get funded, but somehow you're going to fail. And
That's-
I'll tell you why
That's
I
how
say that.
politicians work.
I'll tell you why I say that. Most of the grant fundings in this country,
Yeah.
they give you the money, but they expect you to use it all. To use it all.
How do you
and not
sustain?
leave anything.
Yeah.
How are you going to
Sustain yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which we need to
You
fix.
give me 1 million rand.
Yeah.
ne?
Yeah.
You know I'm an NPO or NPC.
Yes.
You say I must use this 1 million rand within 6 months. Exactly.
Exactly.
So how are you going
of
to
it.
sustain?
So
Yeah.
that is why for
Exactly.
me, I'm saying, you know, those 50,000 will sustain them until they die.
My-
For me, I feel
But
like
how
those
do you then
50,000
choose
is very
them?
important.
How do you choose
That's
them?
the criteria. We don't
And
know.
I'm saying this
we
because
don't know how they
I'm
chose
saying
them.
this because
we don't know.
I was
Yeah.
at some point one of the recipients of that money, even though it came once, where they gave us 50,000, but they're celebrating us as legends. And then the question other people asked is, how is Arthur a legend? And then I asked a question as to what is the difference between a legend and a veteran?
Okay.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
So does the money go to legends or to veterans? How do you establish the difference between a legend and a veteran? Because
I feel like veteran and legends are the same.
exactly that's how you guys view it. That's not how I view it.
Okay.
How do you view it?
How?
I feel
No, I don't view it the same way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
young as she is, Tyler is my legend. Because she
Okay.
has done something that no one
Exactly.
else in this
Has ever
country
done.
has
Ever
ever
done.
done.
Okay.
Because you can
For
be in the
me,
industry
she has
for-
the legendary status.
Yeah. She has left a mark.
She has left a
Yes.
big mark that will last forever.
Yes.
I'll give an example of a legendary song.
Okay.
I might not call the owner a legend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that song, they play it in rugby, man. The earlier song that was changed a bit, Sister Bettina.
Bettina.
Yes.
It's a legendary song.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
I agree.
Because you can be in the
I
industry
agree
for the
on
longest
that.
time.
Sister Bettina is a
All the
legendary
veterans
song.
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
been.
yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
I get
You know.
Yeah, no, I get you.
It's how I
Yeah.
view it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say because a song has been there for number of years and then I
Okay.
say, that's why I'm saying,
How do you differentiate between the two?
yeah, it
Exactly.
becomes, and I like
Yeah.
what you just said. It's your own view and it's my view. Explain to me why do you see them as the same so that I get
We
educated.
understand.
Yeah, because I feel like a veteran is someone who's been there for a very long time and making a difference, even for a legend. So for me, I feel like it's the same level.
Nah, sekgowa sa re shapa.
So,
English?
Sekgowa
so
sa re-
meaning all
And
our
I feel like the
veterans,
same.
I'm trying to
Okay.
get somewhere.
So,
So you are saying all our veterans
I've left a
are
mark.
legends.
Maybe
And
that
all
mark
of
is
them
not
deserve to get that
national mark.
50,000.
Yes.
No.
Nyamuzwa
totally
Tina.
Okay, so
disagree.
So for her, it goes according to age, ne?
Okay.
Meaning everybody
Especially
above, they said
age.
you must be 70, ne?
Yeah, they say
So all those 70-year-olds are supposed to get that
No,
money.
abanye spas.
Yes.
They can be legends, but we don't know
No,
them.
I get it at
Yes.
its age.
Me,
Yeah.
my
So I don't
opinion
have to
is
know
saying
you.
Yes.
It's age for her.
Yes.
She says a legend
For
goes
a
according
long
to age.
time. I feel like a legend has to be someone.
So they
doing
have
the
to go
same
to
thing.
each and every province and check somebody who has ever performed,
Exactly.
somebody who has done something,
Not in
and give them
Joburg.
50,000.
A very good,
How
a
much
very
is
good
that?
example.
They're not supposed to focus on
guys, it's South
Joburg.
Africa, you know.
No, no.
And every
Why
month, ne,
focusing only
that's
on the most
50,000.
famous
Agnama,
people?
South Africa.
Okay, just to close this topic, ne?
Yes.
A very good example. And the reason why I have an issue with it. Bafile, all those legends that we saw, or the veterans that we saw, what about Mama Nandi?
Oh.
Mama Nandi's story came out,
Hence
Hannah
I
Nixie,
said,
Hannah
how do you
Dimetically. So how do you choose?
How
And
do
she's
you
been in
choose
the industry for the longest time.
wait,
And
Evh'a?
the worst part, Mama Nandi, she has done a lot of workshops
Yeah.
in the industry.
You know
so
what
how
happened?
do you choose
Mama
your people? And
Nandi
that's where the
was-
corruption thing
Yeah.
comes in as well. And hence
Yeah.
I'm feeling one foundation is not enough. Imagine if those 50 legends or veterans.
But why do you call it corruption?
Eh?
You heard me.
Okay. how do I say Asipe is better than George when George has done so much in the industry as compared to Kimang Asipe?
Why do you call
So
it
how
corruption?
select that? The selection criteria is corrupt.
Okay.
Because why? I feel like it's biased.
Wouldn't you say it's biased or flawed rather than calling it corruption?
I will say corruption because we know our industry is corrupt to the core.
And
Don't you think that's what
Bufloni
makes
bo,
it difficult
it's
for
in
people to
between.
understand what's corrupt and what's fraud?
Okay, look
And
at that
because
John
you
Guy.
just call
How
everything
dare you
corruption.
John Guy?
Can I protect myself? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
let me say
yes,
myself.
yes.
During COVID, how many people received the 1,000 rand and the 10,000 rand only to find out what the ghost? It's still happening. It's still happening.
It's a different
so
case now.
It can happen here. It can happen, Barry.
But you call that corruption. Yes, but let's not go to COVID.
So you can still say, when I get choose obe more listing, but 20,000 rand is mine, and I give you 30,000 rand. Isn't that corruption?
So that's what
You
you
know-
suspect they did.
I even feel like
I do suspect.
You know,
they
I
did.
even feel like with
It's
that
a
John
suspicion,
Guy.
right?
It's a suspicion.
Okay.
I'm not
Yes.
saying that it's done. It's a suspicion, but also I'm feeling good. Whatever they're doing, it doesn't make sense at all. Imagine if we had taken all those 50 veterans and the legends, Bulandi Foundation, and give back. You've got so much experience.
Give
How
back,
many-
kanjani ngilambile? You want me to give back? Give back.
John Guy, why is he giving that
Mara,
50,000?
like an-
It's also on the list of the 50K.
Oh, you said
Enough.
it has to
Shit.
do with the age.
Yes, but
so,
it's got
yes,
enough.
what he does with it shouldn't be your problem. But he deserves
That's
it.
my tax money.
Yes, yeah.
I have a problem.
But they should look
that
at
is
who
my
has
tax money.
enough.
I have a problem. I'm the one who's making you to get that 50 grand.
Let's close this thing. Do they deserve it or not?
They do. They
Mama
don't.
Nandi was
What?
appreciated, guys.
Do they deserve it or not?
Please, she was
Yes and
appreciated.
no.
Deserving.
Yes
Do they
and
deserve
no.
it?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Abanye
Ah,
abantu
guys.
bayahuzuka, sibas-
Do they deserve it?
Some they do,
Some they do, they don't.
So yes,
But
yes
wait,
is for me
listen,
those who have
guys.
worked hard.
Mama Nandi
No,
was,
it's for
was
those who have worked. They
appreciated.
benefited, but we had benefited nothing
Eva,
from the experience.
speaking about Mama Nandi,
Okay,
she
madam.
was appreciated
That is Sofeng.
and honored at the
Yeah.
Sofeng. Congratulations to the
Guys, no, I
Sofeng.
know,
yes.
but how much
Thank
did they
you.
give it?
How much did I give her, Ganjan, man?
But okay, but let's talk about the nicer stuff.
But she was appreciated and they did a whole dedication to her.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't
yeah.
know how much she got.
Okay.
But the fact that they took her, first her, and did a whole day of Mama Nandi,
That was
Kali
beautiful.
28.
Yeah, that
it
was
was so
beautiful.
Let's
beautiful.
hope they
Yeah.
contributed
There was
a lot of money.
performances and there was a lot of things that happened. She even got on a ring ton. What's the thing that they put in a frame? It's like a picture or what it's called.
Well done, South Africa. Well done. Now let me tell you something. Casper in your vest.
Oh,
Another
fill up. Fill up, Casper.
Aro fill up a stadium.
Fill it up, Casper.
Free
Is
state.
he gonna fill it up? That's the question.
Cash caramel. Hush caramel.
Yeah, the song is actually
But
really
why
great.
are you guys having issues with Casper in your vest?
Hush
If I may ask?
caramel.
Why people are having issues with Casper in your vest?
No, I feel like
Some
he's
people
too
think he's not
big-headed.
talented.
Yeah.
No, some people think he's not a rapper.
Okay.
They don't think he's not talented.
Yeah.
They feel like he can't rap for shit.
Wow.
That's what they
Upsala,
feel.
Wow.
No,
Casper
he's got
Nyovest
hooks.
is another legend.
He's got looks.
Yeah.
He's got hooks.
Oh, I thought you said
You know,
looks.
the most important
Yes, someone is crushing on Casper.
No, Casper Nyovest is my legend.
Okay.
I don't care
that guy.
whether you say what,
Yeah.
you know.
And Kabzali Maporisa, they're doing the festival
Oh
as well.
yes, they're having an
When is it
event
happening?
actually, and
Yeah.
It's fill
apparently they've stopped following each other.
They did. They
Because
unfollowed
people are
each
trying
other.
to say who's the real king of Amapiano. They are
Speaking about
partners.
kings,
They are partners.
who we are
Why
sitting
would you
here with the
even-
king of Kwaito.
Yes.
So,
Speaking about
so
kings.
ignore alone. So,
Why would you even,
We are not.
you know,
We are not.
Speaking about
trying
kings.
to put these guys together to say who
Yeah.
is the best because they are business partners.
But now my question is, speaking about kings, remember we've also had an issue data in Kwaito.
Yeah.
There's a king of Kwaito, there's Ata, there's Cleo, and so them.
Mm.
But how did Kwaito actually influence Amapiano to what it
Amapiano.
is today?
Yes.
you know, I'm one of those people, ne? When Amapiano was attacked, and people were saying, this is not music. Yours was the original one. I said, guys, can I be removed out of this conversation?
Okay.
Because I feel we influenced this
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
how we influence them doesn't matter. We're not going to sit and start scoring music and say, you did that, you didn't do that. But the fact of the matter is, they changed the landscape of the music industry.
Yeah,
So it depends. I know Evh'a, for an example. Evh'a is not a Mapiano fanatic. She will tell you, I need old school. quite, you
Yeah,
know.
that's
So
me.
I think it's an individual choice.
Okay.
You know, I grew up listening to your reggaes, your ragas, and what. So,
Bubble
if
gum.
you know, everybody has got their own choices
Yeah.
because you relate because of certain incidences that have happened.
Yeah.
You know, all we can do is to embrace what these young people
It's
are doing
happening.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
make sure that you know they protect this
Legacy.
genre.
Yeah. And I like that Amapiano, they actually do show some appreciation of Kwaito. They've remixed so many songs. The Haibo, Haibo, Haibo,
Hi, boy.
Haibo. And then they actually did a Haibo, cling, cling, cling,
I wouldn't know,
Haibo,
right?
And then with
Great.
Nige, they did
Yes.
Nika. So it's remixed. So that shows that actually Kwaito did have an influence on Amapiano. But then congratulations to Kabza,
Kabza and
Matumani.
Matumani.
But
They're
now the
actually filling up the Loftus Stadium in
Same thing as
Pretoria.
Doja Cat.
Are they doing a fill-up as well?
Yes, they're doing a
Wow,
fill-up
nice.
on the
29th.
29th. On the
29th of
29th of
what?
August, the
August.
same
Oh, nice.
day, Doja Cat is coming
Uh-oh.
back. Remember Doja Cat
Daddy
and her
issues.
father? She called her father the deadbeat.
But the nice thing, sorry, before we go to Doja Cat,
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
the nice thing is there might be two different markets.
yeah.
There might be two different markets.
Can I ask a
mean-
question? Where is Doja Cat's dad going? Is it going to Amapiano or is it going to watch
No,
Doja Cat?
definitely he'll watch his daughter.
utata uthanda Amapiano ngethi ngapha ngothanda Doja Cat. And it's
No,
the same
but he
thing.
definitely go to his daughter.
but
Are you
it's
sure?
not
But they are not having, a very
sure?
good relationship yet. They're trying to build it.
But guys, how
because
do you know
Doja-
personal things like this?
Self-research.
Like how do but how do you get into people's lives and say whether they're meeting? What if they're just keeping it away from the public?
No, Doja
No,
Cat
they're not.
really
Maybe.
wants to be part of his father's
But
life. He called
how
her
sure are
father
you that
as
they
a
see-
deadbeat father, and Ubaba is saying, "No, we have a good relationship."
But did she say it with her mouth?
yes, she
She
said it on
did.
Twitter.
Do you have a video?
On Twitter.
It's on TikTok. I'll get it. It's on
No,
TikTok.
it's
She
on
did
also
say
Twitter.
that.
Is it not AI?
No, it's not.
it's
She
not
did say
AI.
that I'm trying to build a relationship with my father.
Trying to build. So they are
Yes.
building.
Yes, yes.
So?
Oh, remember
Oh my
how
God.
Untata
Ningena
Dlamini
pini.
left overseas, right?
Man?
Sarafina.
Untata Dlamini,
Sarafina
Doja
days.
Cat's father.
Yes,
He
yeah.
left because he was, homesick. He met this white lady during the Sarafina era, and then they tried to build a family. And then he was homesick. He came back, and then he never looked back to his
Manje
kids.
maka homesick,
That's
uhlala
how
nomntwana.
they actually lost. Yes, that's how they do it. That's how they lost the relationship.
But also, I
with their
agree with
daughter.
Afeguti. Sometimes we do not need to intervene too much into this issue because we are not too sure if Ntate Dlamini maybe we look America at some point.
He did.
We
He
don't
did
know that.
say the story. I read the story that he was homesick. That's why he
Ah, so
came
you know
back
it
to
for a
South Africa.
fact.
No, I know the story
a
very well,
fact.
very well. He said he came back because he was homesick. I think then now they clashed because he wasn't doing anything for the kids that were in the US.
Yeah.
He stayed in South Africa and then forgot about
Yeah,
those
yeah.
kids.
But now,
So,
Tuxi, mentioned that you were singing.
oh yeah, I used to be an artist.
you used to be.
I know.
Retired, mama.
You know what's the funniest thing?
She
ne?
retired.
Ever since she said that, ne, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, singer, singer, singer.
Everyone is an artist here.
Singer,
Wow.
singer, pianist,
Retired
singer.
one.
I mean, I was
You know
even
this
a-
one
I
can
was
play the
even a
piano as
kind
well.
of
I'm a
bee.
pianist.
I was even a Cardi B kind of a girl. If you watch my videos, you'll see.
Oh, so you have
I'm
a
a Cardi B.
Nali BBL.
Not BBL.
No, I don't have a BBL.
So who must run?
This
This
is
one
BBL
natural.
material.
This is natural.
Oh, BBL.
So what
Actually,
genre,
BBL.
what genre were you singing?
Cardi B.
Hip hop and I'm a piano.
Can you rap now?
Yes, I can. No,
let's
not
try.
now. No,
Why
no,
not?
no, not
Maybe
now.
Let's go,
song.
Cardi.
Yeah.
Let's go, Cardi.
It's not about me.
But you can rap
Wow.
as well, right?
I used to. I can't
Okay.
rap anymore.
Now?
I used to.
I
But I can sing.
Yeah.
I can play piano. I write music.
can you sing one song now? Just a bit. Nyana,
No, why
Fanyani.
don't we start there?
I
then?
will.
If that's what's going to happen, we start that side.
Exactly.
If we are going to do that,
Yeah.
Man,
We're
I'm
gonna
a
start.
veteran, so I would want my 50,000 rand first before. You know, I mean, people can attest to this voice. I can sing. But my 50,000 rand first.
Lana,
Exactly.
Speaking
So
about
guys-
the 50,000
Yeah.
guys, compute ticket crashed.
Why?
The
yes,
website.
so Kevin Momo's event.
I checked
Kevin Momo.
yesterday.
Yes.
I was trying to.
Kevin
Why
Momo
did
is
Kevin-
having a symphonic.
like
It's the
Kapsa.
same
Wow.
symphonic that Gabza had last year.
Yeah.
So Kevin Momo is having one. Congratulations to him. But why crash my website?
Ukhona umuntu ongafuna ukuthi abe naleya event. Yazi uKabza.
But what's special about Kevin Momo for him to crash the CompuTicket website?
We will ask them when they come. Thank you so much. Naki right,
CompuTicket was created in 1979. Why crash it now?
Aye, besingakazalwa, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
mina ngiyakhumbula
Mr. Mafokate,
1979.
because the Felito show, Naki Batwan rekele tekete.
Naki
Before
batla
Clasha
kodwa.
Gape, Mr. Mafokate, are you checking your 50,000 rand?
Tell me, this 50,000, do they give them every month?
They said so.
Yes,
Jason
it's
said
every month
everyone.
until they die.
How
Until
many
they
people
die.
did they give?
Yes.
How many
Forever.
people did they give?
Okay,
far?
until maybe Mackenzie's
How many
out of
did
the
they give?
seat.
50. Is
Yeah,
it?
50,000 equals to 50 people.
Yeah, 50 people.
That's a calculation.
Yeah.
Man, it's
That-
No, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of
For
money.
them just
50,000
sit
times
there
50,
going
ne?
I do feel like they
Yeah,
deserve
it's a
it.
lot of money.
No.
Mina nje
Mamela,
bayadeserve
okay.
it.
Ah, guys, you're lying.
No.
No, you know why I'm saying you're lying.
Why?
50,000
Yeah.
by 50
Yes.
for 12 months
Yes.
Yes.
is 30 million.
Thank you.
Yes.
So 30 million in 5 years is going to be
Yes.
300, what?
150 million.
It's South Africa in a mile.
It's
My
okay.
no, you know
it's
the
not
good
No,
thing.
but
bad.
I don't think that's true though.
It's not.
It's on the video. It's there. It was
He
publicized.
said,
It's
"Hey,
there
Mackenzie,
online.
nah,
No,
yeah,
I don't think it's true. Maybe you guys didn't listen carefully.
No,
No,
we
he even said, you know,
It's there.
he even
online.
said,
We can play
please,
it.
you must actually, your funds, ne, or your expenditure must be between 50, but we might give you 70.
Mara
He said
lento
it.
yokuba ne-mentality
He said it.
yasejele
It
It
was
was,
there.
it
It's
was on
online.
SABC
Yeah.
News, so
On
I watched
SABC
it.
News.
Wow.
He's giving these legends 50,000 every month until maybe he's out
Yeah.
of, the seat of being a minister.
jail mentality.
That's why I'm
But
having an
actually,
issue
that's
because
what
of
he's doing.
Yeah, that's why I had an issue when I calculated. I'm
Chankaneng
like,
mentality.
this just. I'm not saying it's a waste, but I think they should have been thoughtful on how to utilize the money.
It's just that they
You
never
understand?
publicized it, or maybe have a criteria of who we are choosing.
For example, if in
who
20,000
deserves
rand
it.
every month, but for 30,000 rand, give back.
Wait, Eva. For example,
Yeah.
Maralo, she's a singer, right?
Yeah.
For her to get the 50K, can she like teach kids how to sing?
Exactly my point.
Oh, guys, it takes a lot. I
Exactly.
know the
No.
Ncube Foundation
No.
to teach people for 6 months. They had to get 1.5 million.
No,
Are you
teaching
telling
is not
me
a big
uzoteach
deal.
abantu ngo
Bruh,
50,000?
listen, I sing. I play
1.5
piano.
million.
I sing, I play piano. For me, it comes naturally to teach.
Tuxi,
for me, it comes naturally to
maybe let's
teach.
educate you about DSEC.
Hey.
DSEC works with the Department of Education. There's young facilitators like about Google because we have piano. They organize the kids and they
Yes.
put them in front here, just like they've organized us, or Mr. Mafokate, and he's questioning us. That's all he does. I have been an artist, I don't know for how many years, more than 30 years, right? And for the past 2 years, I haven't been getting funding. No job. Ntate Mafokate ke na ntse a ko nke ngwana ko lo reka ka 1,000 rand grocery. DSEC has been promising us heaven and earth. It hasn't arrived. NAC, rejection. MGE, postponement. I mean,
But why should we live on grants,
if
if I may ask?
Eh?
Why should we live on grants? How important is a grant?
Our system is making us who we are today.
But
we
Eva-
don't invest to
But-
educate our artists
But
so that
even
they can
worse,
be
to make things
independent on
worse,
their own.
even Pick and Pay, the way they
Yeah.
don't believe in us, they went and fetched Rick Ross to shoot an ad.
Pick and
Are
Pay
you
is
gonna-
not a South African brand.
It doesn't
It's
matter, but where does it
It's a
sell?
South African brand.
Where does
Is
it
it?
sell? Yes. Where does Pick and Pay
Ackermans.
sell?
Is it
Yes.
South African
Yes.
brand?
Yes.
They fetched Rick Ross. We
Okay.
have so many brilliant rappers that could have done way better than what Rick Ross did. They fetched
How
Rick
sure
Ross.
are you?
100% sure. I believe in South African rappers. We have so many. We have Nasty C, we have MC, we have a lot of them. Even Hosh Karamine.
But I've got an answer for you. Look what happened.
Hosh Karamine, gotta get to China.
Look what happened to
I
Chris
like
Brown. Chris Brown just came from nowhere. And how much money did he make?
Chris Brown was booked
Yeah.
by. Remember, Chris Brown is a brand.
Yeah.
And he has his own booking agency, his own
Yes.
management team, and
Yes.
blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
So maybe they decided to, hey, okay, let's go to South Africa.
Yeah.
Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So
Now-
we can't
Can
say
I ask you a
Chris
simple
Brown.
question?
Okay.
If Tyler gets money from an overseas brand, are you expecting Americans to also do what you're doing?
They will. They will, because now they have upcoming artists that they believe they're better than Tyler. If Tyler gets a huge
But
gig,
I feel like
and
you
then
guys
Ice
are
Spice-
not
come
willing
on,
to
Ice
grow
Spice.
because you are
Or
not
Ice
willing
Red.
to grow beyond your borders. You want everybody to be treated that way.
But still, the question is, why did Pick and Pay fetch Rick Ross?
Rick Ross is bringing customers.
Wait,
Let me ask you a simple question. Let me ask you a very stupid question.
Okay.
Why did Saudi Arabia go get Ronaldo?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You see? Oh, what do you compare? Okay,
Re bua ka
that-
motho o
But
tshotseng
that's different though.
The small
billion rand.
But that's different.
What's different?
That's different, guys.
Only
Our
idiots.
artists are suffering. Our artists are
Did you hear
hungry.
what I said?
What did you say?
Repeat that.
No, but our artists are suffering, guys. Our
That's why
suffering.
it's your responsibility as a leader. You know, you said you're a leader.
Me, I'm not leadership. I'm gonna leadership.
When we started the show, he said, "This is leadership."
No, what you are putting later with my leader.
Me,
With my
even
leader.
once I got fired from
From Sisa.
Yeah.
Cuts.
So try long complain because if you're gonna complain about Pick
Shem,
and
you
Pay,
can see she's still crying to go back to the
don't want.
leader Kuku.
No.
How are you, my leader Kuku?
I don't want, because I know exactly why I got fired. But anyway, I get now I talk too much. Like,
why
this
did you
one.
get fired, by the way?
They said I talk too much.
And you also got fired, or did you just resign?
No, good for you.
Why?
Guys, on this note, it was nice being with you. And till we see you next week with these crazy ladies, leadership Evh'a and leadership Tutsi and my leader Kuku.
No way.
See you next
And
week, same
leadership
time, same place.